Welcome to this week's edition of CEO Corner. I'm Otis Rawl, President and CEO of the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce. We're happy to have with us today Cam Crawford, the Executive Director of the South Carolina Civil Justice Reform Coalition. Cam, thanks for being with us today.
I appreciate the invitation.
Well, for folks that don't know Cam, Cam has been the Executive Director for the coalition now going on about 6 years. We had created the coalition to start advancing tort reform and have expanded it to workers' comp. So those are some of the issues that we'll be talking about today. So Cam, kind of just tell us a little bit about the coalition to start off with, who makes it up and what's the purpose of the coalition.
Okay, the coalition was, and you were involved with it and you know, but it was formed originally in late 2002. The South Carolina Chamber, South Carolina Medical Association, NFIB, and the South Carolina Manufacturers Association came together and started the formation of the coalition.
Right.
They brought in other corporations, other professional and business associations, and we formed a team. We have about 40 in our coalition now. Probably 60% are businesses, 40% are some sort of business association. And we led to the passage of tort reform in 2005. And in 2007, the coalition worked on workers' comp and were able to pass some legislation. We've also taken positions against certain commissioners from being reappointed to the Workers' Compensation Commission. And now, the last few years, we've been working on what we call Phase 2 of tort reform.
Well, that brings us to where we are and what we're doing right now. You want to talk a little bit about the bill, Cam, what's included in the bill, and the status, and what do you see happening to the bill toward the end of this session?
Yeah, I think it's very important to point out we introduced a bill originally that had 10 issues in it. We're down to 5 now. We have attempted to compromise with the legislative leadership. We met with the trial lawyers, their leadership, numerous times at the beginning of this session. At the request of the House leadership, we tried to work through some issues. Ultimately, we were unsuccessful in achieving a compromise that both the business community and the trial lawyers could agree to, but it was productive nonetheless. We could at least understand where each other was coming from on certain issues. The legislation passed out of subcommittee with a 4-0 vote. It passed out of full Judiciary Committee in the House with a, I think it's 17-1 vote, and then passed on the House floor 104-9. What was in the House bill was a reasonable limit on punitive damages. It allows for the admissibility of non-use of seat belts in cases involving auto accidents, which is very important, very common sense reform. It caps the amount of appeal bond. Appeal bond is one of those things, kind of like insurance. You don't really think too much about it till you need it. The basis of appeal bond is we want to protect a person's right to file an appeal in a civil action. And if you get an extremely high verdict, you can be required to post a bond in that amount. And for a small business, that can bankrupt a small business. So we're just trying to say, for small businesses, cap it at $1 million.
And then you had another little piece about statute of repose.
We have the statute of repose. Very, very common sense. We passed statute of repose, as you remember, in 2005. Some enterprising trial lawyers have found some loopholes, and what they are alleging are building code violations to get from under the 8-year limitation. All we're saying, admit the building code violation into evidence. We have no problem with that. But don't use a minor, unrelated building code violation as a reason to try to get from under the 8-year statute of limitations there, and that's in the statute of repose. And then the final issue is what is known as the Private Attorney Retention Sunshine Act. This is to provide accountability and oversight for private attorneys who are employed by the state of South Carolina. We are wanting to make sure that we don't have any more billionaires created like they were in the tobacco litigation. In fact, in the tobacco litigation, to take you back, you may remember, good lawyers were made to be billionaires. Yeah. Average lawyers became millionaires that worked on that case. And we were very concerned about that. And we are just trying to have some accountability and oversight when the state of South Carolina hires outside counsel.
Right.